Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome and thank you for being here at the Daily Antidote of Song. Today is day 1946. Thank you for the reminders, those of you who are holding up reminders. And this has been made possible thanks to Carpe Diem Arts and this gorgeous community of people who keep gathering. So thank you for gathering. My name is Shruti. I'm in Pune in India today. Yesterday I was in Delhi. So I've switched places, although on the same side of the pond for most of you. And welcome today. To everyone on the live stream, thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a blessed day wherever you are. To everyone in the Zoom room, well, happy Sunday to most of you. And hi to Joe, who's driving somewhere, also for holding fort at the Daily Antidote. Candice in LA, who's green rooming today. Neil in Boston, welcome. Linda in Ohio, welcome. Diana in Victoria, welcome. Linda on Orcas Island, welcome. Diane in New Hampshire, welcome. Carolyn in Boise, welcome. Mabel and the Bears in Mass, welcome. Trish in Victoria, welcome. Susan in Cincinnati, welcome. Delhi in Maryland, welcome. Arlene in Berkeley, welcome. Sheila in Florida, welcome. Anne in Maryland, welcome. Sue in Seattle, welcome. Marion in Brighton, welcome. Bob in Albany, welcome. Hoda in BC, welcome. Annette in California, welcome. Aloysius in Massachusetts, welcome. Nancy in Washington State, welcome. Jenny in Suffolk, UK, welcome. Benny in Auburn, welcome. Storm in Massachusetts, welcome. Deep breath, everyone. Today is the closing of this year's wonderful 3-week partnership with CDSS and Pine Woods. We're so grateful to everyone who's come and sung and led us in harmony and togetherness and song, and really grateful to our two partners. And to close off this wonderful series, also today is the last day of streaming at 11:30 Eastern. From tomorrow we go back to our noon timing, which is the regular, the usual timing for the last 5 and something years. And to close off this glorious 3-week partnership, please welcome today, coming in from California, Evie Ladin, banjo player, singer, songwriter, percussive dancer. I realize there's something called square dancing. I need to ask you more about it because I don't know what square dancing is on my side of the world. But thank you for doing what you do, Evie, and welcome back to the Daily Antidote.
Thanks for having me. It's early in California, but I'm happy to be here.
We're so glad you're here, and we'd love to jump right into singing with you today. What are we singing on this early Sunday morning, I guess, for you?
Well, I have a new song that I've been pulling out, and I think it's called "You Know You've Got Friends," and it seemed very appropriate for this assembly of people.
Yes, please. We'd love to hear it. Please, we'll
Jump
sing
right
along.
into the song. All right, the song's got a tag that goes doo 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 da 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 doo 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 da da da. Let's sing that. Doo 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 da 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 doo 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 da da da. You can also go like da ba dee ba doo ba ba dum ba digga da doo ba da ba ba. Try that now. Dee ba doo ba dee da 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 dee da doo da da da. And so it's pretty repetitive, and you can sing all the words. It doesn't really have a chorus besides that tag, but you can sing along because you'll know how it goes in just 1 second. And here's the tag again. Here we go. Do 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 da 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 do 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 da da da. Well, at least you got friends. At least you got friends. You gotta make amends. And so you keep your friends. When life throws you a curveball and you don't know which way it bends, At least you got friends. At least you got friends. Tag. Do 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 da 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 do 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 da da da. Well, at least you got friends. Well, I love my friends. When my story ends, well, I know I had friends. When struggles are upon you and the troubles are coming again, at least you got friends. At least you got friends. Here's that tag now. Do 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 da da da. Digga do ba da da da. Well, no, it goes to the bridge here. Well, how you doing? I'm just calling to see. I'm checking on you, or you're checking on me. I'm so sorry for what's holding you down, but I can't wait to see you. Are you coming around? Well, at least you got friends. You know you got friends. Well, it's time well spent calling up your friends. I used to be so sad to leave them, till I learned I'd always see them again if I reach out my hand and call up my friends. That's all it takes now. Tag do 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 da 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 do 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 da da da. Well, life can be lonely, it's understood. You don't gotta say, man, it's all good. Tell me the truth, I'm here for you now. I'm happy to help if you show me how. Well, at least you got friends. You know you got friends. You gotta make amends, yes you do, so you keep your friends. When life throws you a curveball, you know it will, and you don't know which way it bends. At least you got friends. At least you got friends. We got all our friends here now. Do 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 da da da. Do 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 da da da. One more time now. Do 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 da da da. Well, you know that you got friends.
Woo! Give it up for Evie Ladin, everyone, coming in from California. Wow, what an immensely delightful, beautifully singable song.
Little ditty.
That's gorgeous. Evie, tell us more about the song and where it's come
Um,
from.
yeah, well, last summer I had COVID for the very first time. I know I lasted 4 years. And I showed up at one of these awesome grown-up summer music camps I've been doing all summer. And I was in Tennessee, and COVID came on the second day, and they said, "You have to get out. You have to go." So I found myself an Airbnb for the few days that were challenging, but I still was testing positive. And so I called up some friends in the area and I said, "Does anyone have somewhere I could stay?" So I wasn't paying, so many hundreds and hundreds of dollars to stay in
Yeah.
an Airbnb until I tested negative. And a friend said, "Yeah, I have this cabin outside of Marshall, North Carolina." And so I went there, and I've been in that area many times for concerts and festivals and camps and things like that. But honestly, in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina, I had never really explored the land. And I
Yeah.
was by myself for 11 days, which is unusual in and of itself. But it was fortunately summer, and I had a cabin with nobody staying in it. And it was a little rustic, but that was fine because it was beautiful out. And every day I would wake up, I would test negative, I would test positive again, be demoralized, and then be like, "All right, where am I going?" And I would take a book and go on a hike and swim in the rivers, and the rivers were beautiful. And the last few days of being out there, I started writing songs. And this song
Yes.
just, and also like while I'm hiking, I tend to sing.
Yeah.
And so I was singing along, and this, that refrain, at least I got friends. Well, here I am by myself in the woods every day, but at least I got friends that gave me a place to stay and all of that. And as a
Yeah.
side note, I just want to say both of those towns that I stayed in, Irwin, Tennessee, and Marshall, North Carolina, were totally devastated by Hurricane Helene last fall. And so, one of my albums that came out last fall, the second album I have of fiddle and banjo duets called Riding the Rooster, $1 from sale of that record in perpetuity goes towards Hurricane Helene relief because that area has contributed so much to my music and the music I play and my musical development and the friends that I have there who have been struggling and lost so much. It's a common story now. We're helping our friends all over the world as much as we can. But that's
Yeah.
basically where that song came from.
Thank you for sharing the story. Like it's always so lovely to hear where songs come from, and yes, yes, yes to friends and to communities, and standing up for them and standing with them, and just being there for each other. I think this community constantly inspires and embodies that as well. So
Yeah.
thank you for this beautiful, beautiful song, Evie, and the story. And I think we can find the links to your songs. I'm sure it'll be up in just a minute or half a minute, probably. Um, what else do you have coming up this summer, Evie? Where else are you going? Where can we find you?
Well, it's kind of appropriate that we're wrapping up Harmony of Song and Dance Week because I'm just off my fourth grown up music camp
Yeah.
of the summer, which I love because it's all about people getting together and participating in music and dance and community. And I'm always telling my students and telling people grown up music camp, and a lot of people are like, what is that? I don't know if that's a thing. And then also, so many of the people in the camps are, this is their week to experience music and dance as a participant.
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
and a lot of people, are very scared of that, scared of showing up, of putting themselves out, and all that kind of stuff. And I just encourage people to find one person, a group of people, anybody, not just to consume music and dance, but to do it. And not just alone in your room, which is also really valuable, but to at least find people that you can play and sing and dance with. It's the most human of things. And so actually, I have a week here at home full of things like a memorial and a wedding, touching things on both sides of the spectrum. And then I head to our family camp, where 3, 4 generations of people can all be fully occupied, again, engaging in music and dance and circus and theater and visual art and all that kind of stuff, and eating meals together and being fed by other people. And being in the woods. And the family camp that we go to in Cazadero, California, is actually also the site where we got married. And so
Oh,
every year we can stand at home plate, which was the site of our wedding, and say, "Do you still do?" And so far we still do. So it's really, it's wonderful to be there and to see old friends. And just yesterday was my son's 22nd birthday, and we started going there when he was 3. And he
awesome.
said, I love that this is part of our family tradition because he has a cohort of friends he's grown up with that he
Yes.
mostly sees that one week at camp, just like a lot of people do. And those gathering places are incredibly valuable.
That's so amazing. I know this is probably literally preaching to the choir over here, but if there's anyone over here who's maybe had a difficult equation with their voice, or who hasn't attended maybe a live camp yet, or wants to sing out and hasn't done that, do you have anything that you might have to say that would nudge that person maybe to to explore their voice more or explore song more. If there's any person in this room or maybe listening on the live stream, um, would you have something to
Well,
say?
just talking about camps in general.
Camps and just like to tell, like I love it when adults sing and discover their voice for the first time, and I'm always on the lookout for that. So I wonder if you
Yeah.
have any words of wisdom to give, since
Well,
you've been leading camps for a long time or staff at camps for a long time.
yeah, I mean, I grew up going to them,
Awesome.
not just, summer camp, but specifically music and dance camps. And the main thing is, I've had people say, well, what if you can't sing? And I just say, that's not a thing.
Awesome.
Everybody can sing. And singing together in a group, as people say over and over again, is like, it just gets you right here. Using your voice, blending with other people, having that experience. It's amazing to me that I keep like blowing minds by leading people into this space that humans have been doing forever. And because I grew up doing it at the university, I kind of was studying cultures where music and dance is a part of social communication because it's what my family did, but not what I saw around me. And of course, come to, as a young person, come to realize, oh, that's all cultures except
Yeah.
for Western cultures or civilization where it's about capitalism and work and not
Yes.
so much about the community gathering to do those most human of things and to get in pulse together. And the other thing is that singing and getting in pulse and music and dance together has, I mean, they do study after study as to why it's great for your brain and your heart, but it also is entrainment, which is getting people to actually get along without conversation.
Yes.
We all talk too much, way too much.
That's a good reminder for us to maybe jump into the song once more and
Yeah.
and sing it again. But thank you for this conversation, Evie. It just fills my heart to know that this is happening everywhere. And I live in the part of the world where I need to ask you about square dancing. Do you mind? I mean, it might just be very self indulgent because it could be that everyone else in this room knows what square dancing is. And I'm the only person in the room because I live in a completely different part. I have no idea what square dancing is. So, would you just indulge me for like 30 seconds and tell me what square dancing is and what you do with it, Evie?
Square dancing is a American social dance that grew out of the mix of white, black, and brown cultures in the American South, combined with French influence. Once we kicked the British out, once we kicked out the king, which will happen again, and so a lot of those influences, and actually, it used to be court dances and aristocratic dances, but because of our really difficult history with slavery and enslavement, the African influence was of someone calling out the moves. So instead of people having learned it in a dance school and knowing how to do it, um, in the enslaved population, they were calling out the moves, and it became part of the culture that someone directs it. It's really connected to Southern Appalachian old time string band music. And so you're calling the moves the whole time. You don't have to know anything ahead of time. It's all taught. Someone put in the link that we have a very thriving square dance community here.
Awesome.
There's fancy square dancing where you really have to learn a lot. And then there's just like hippie community square dancing where you just show up and within a couple of minutes, you're just a human having a good time. And also share we're leading here in the Bay Area, hosting the Dare to Be Square West weekend in November, which also coaches people on how to call square dances so you can learn and bring it back into your community
Awesome.
and get people together to participate in a dance that makes everybody laugh and smile.
Awesome, Amy. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, I guess I was the only person in the room who didn't know that, and I was tempted to go and ask one of the search engines or artificial intelligence, and then I'm like, but we have human intelligence right here. Like, why not? This is the whole point of a community like this and
Yeah.
something like the Antidote. So thank you for indulging me with that, and we'd love to sing with you again, if you'd
All
lead us
right.
to sing again.
Here's your tag. Let's try one more time. Well, at least you got friends. At least you got friends. You gotta make amends, so you keep your friends. When life throws you a curveball and you don't know which way it bends, at least you got friends. At least you got friends. Here's our tag. Well, at least you got friends. Well, I love my friends. When my story ends, well, I know I had friends. When struggles are upon you and the troubles are coming again, at least you got friends. At least you got friends. Here's our tag. Well, how you doing? I'm a calling to see. I'm checking on you, or you're checking on me. I'm so sorry for what's holding you down, but I can't wait to see you. Are you coming around? Well, at least you got friends. You know you got friends. Well, it's time well spent calling up your friends. Used to be so sad to leave them, till I learned I'd always see them again if I reach out my hand and call up my friends. Here's your tag now. Well, life can be lonely, it's understood. You don't gotta say, man, it's all good. Tell me the truth, I'm here for you now. I'm happy to help if you show me how. Well, at least you got friends. You know you got friends. You gotta make amends, so you keep your friends. You gotta keep those friends, you need them. When life throws you a curveball, you know it will, and you don't know which way it bends, at least you got friends. You know at least you got friends. Here's our tag now. One more time. You know that you got friends.
Let's give it up for Evie Ladin, everyone, coming in from California. Oh, that was such a lovely song, and thank you for that conversation and for teaching me what square dancing is. Um, I hope I get to do it sometime. Thank you everyone for making this daily antidote of song possible. Let's give it up once more for our song leader Evie. Coming up this next week, and we're back to 12 noon Eastern, so which is like right about now, like 4 minutes from now, I believe. We have coming up a very exciting week with two new song leaders, I believe. So we're welcoming new folks into the community of singers, song leaders on the Antidote. So tomorrow we have Suzanne Brindema coming in from the DC area. Then we have Deidre McCullough, who is new to us, who's coming in from California. Then we have Melissa James returning as a song leader from the UK. Moon Clementson coming in from Minnesota. Andy Davis coming in from Vermont. Another new song leader on Saturday Annette Vasilik, I believe, coming in from the DC area, and Molara coming in from the UK to close up the week. This is the daily antidote of song brought to you by Carpe Diem Arts. Everyone, thank you for being here. Let's wave goodbye to our song leader, Evie Ladin. Thank you, Evie, for that song and that beautiful conversation. Thank you so much to everyone on the live stream. Thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed day wherever you are. And everyone in the Zoom room, thank you for being here. To humans and animals who are our friends. To Joe, who is driving somewhere, thank you for doing this. To Candice in LA, thank you for green rooming today. Neil in Boston, thank you for being here. Diane in Victoria, thank you for being here. Linda on Orcas Island, thank you for being here. Diane in New Hampshire, thank you for being here. Carolyn in Boise, thank you for being here. Louise in Sidmouth, thank you for being here. Diane in Puerto Rico, thank you for being here. A couple of bears, Bob and Mabel, thank you for being here. Trish in Victoria, thank you for being here. Susan in Cincinnati, thank you for being here. Caroline in DC, thank you for being here. Tiger and Arlene, thank you for being here and from Berkeley. Sheila in Florida, thank you for being here. Sue in Seattle, thank you for being here. Marion in Brighton, thank you for being here. Bob in Albany, thank you for being here. Susan in Tacoma Park, thank you for being here. Hoda in BC, thanks for being here. Annette in California, thanks for being here. Storm in Mass, thank you for being here. Laris in the UK, thank you for being here. Linda in Ohio, thank you for being here. Linda in Mass, thank you for being here. Anne in Maryland, thank you for being here. Aloysius in Massachusetts, thank you for being here. Nancy in Washington State, thank you for being here. Jenny in Suffolk in the UK, thank you for being here. Benny in Auburn, thank you for being here. The Curly Tops from Vermont, thank you for being here. Robin, thank you for being here. My name is Shruti. I'm coming in from Pune on the west coast in India. Take care, everyone. Happy Sunday or whichever day of the week it is. Have a blessed day.